and it's time for us to craft again together. So I've got a fun thing to do. Um, so you might be asking yourself, what is this about? A tree with a bunch of holes, and I got this to go with it, and then some cool stuff. Let me see. I've got my two glittery chalk pastes. I've got chalk paste glittering gold, and I've got the glittering red. Woo! And we are going to have so much fun together today. A surface called the Spirit Tree. And it comes in, I'll put this aside here. It comes in 5 pieces. So we've got the front with holes in it. We've got the back with larger holes. It makes sense when we put it all together. And then we've got the cross pieces. So this is the base. There are 2 of these, and they tie the front and the back piece together. And then this is to secure the top. So this is called the Spirit Tree. If you're interested in this product, this surface, you can go on our website now and you can go to surfaces and just look for Spirit Tree, or you can just type under shop, you can just type in the search Spirit and this will come up, or tree. You're going to find several things. Okay, so what I was thinking is we're going to do this together. We're going to put the Spirit Tree together. And we're going to have some fun with the chalk base, the gold and the red glittering chalk paste. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to get your opinion too before we get started. It's kind of like, all right, I'll be fair. I was going to say it's not fair. I was going to ask you to give me your opinion before you even saw the project. So you know it's the boards, right? I'm going to go ahead and set these aside. So it's the Spirit Tree. And what I did with my Spirit Tree is I decided that I wanted mine to be all black. And so I ran out to Walmart. This is like 97 cents at Walmart. I sprayed 2 coats on the front and the back of both pieces, actually all 5 pieces. And when I put it together, this is what I got. So you can see bigger holes in the back, smaller ones in the front. Let's see how it works. Like, what does it do? There's my wine. All right. So you could have done something very different. You could have said, you know, the base, I want the base to be down here like a tree trunk, look like a tree trunk, and the tree can be green with ornaments. You could freehand paint it, and the star could be whatever, gold or whatever, but I want mine to be a complete pattern. And then, you know, we have some other things like I've got this Carter Lake handcrafted espresso, hazelnut espresso. I don't know. It was in my cabinet at home. So I brought it, but you can see I can have my pick. So I was thinking red wine, white wine. I don't know exactly all of what I'm going to put in mine. We'll see when I get home what I have, but this can make a really cool gift. So we're going to jump in and we're going to do this project together. Let me get this little guy out. Now, this does come apart. I'm going to show you how to take it apart. We're going to stencil it together, and then I'll tell you how to put it together, okay? But the great thing about this is when you are done with this, it actually disassembles very nicely. So I'm just going to turn it upside down to show you how easy it disassembles. These are the cross pieces right here, and we'll just remove them. And so when it disassembles, it folds up and it's flat, okay? So I'm going to take off this cross piece and this cross piece. Let me turn it the other way for you. Then I'm going to remove this cross piece. Got it in there, but there we go. So they are meant to fit perfectly together. Okay, front piece smaller, back piece larger, and then we've got the cross pieces, all 3 of them. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to decide, we're going to make a decision. I think I'm only going to stencil the front. You could do the front and the back. You know, the front piece and the back piece opposites. You could do the insides. You could do them actually opposite too and get a totally different look, and just flip them around. So that could be cool. But I decided to go all black, and I'm just going to do the front of mine for simplicity's sake, for our time together and that sort of thing. So what I need your help with is I'd like to know what you'd like to see as a pattern. You guys, by the way, love patterns. I don't know if you know this, but patterns go so quickly. And so we have this one. This is one I was thinking about. This is called Art Deco. Well, look, we got some cool lines. We've got this. What is that even? I've forgotten what that's called. That shell pattern. And then this deco pattern here. Super cool. This one is, so 2019 is the year we started. 2019, 2020, 2021, still going. Like, this sells all the time. This goes really well on those book stacks too, FYI. All right, so I could do that. It's a repeating pattern, so I could do that. I gotta say, who doesn't love the mandala lace? All right, so this is our second year with this, and wow, I can't even tell you how many times we have remanufactured this. Okay, I know another one I thought might be fun is, now remember, I'm using the glittering gold and or the glittering red, whatever we decide. So you tell me as I show you these, just type down in the comments what your choice is. Okay, so we've got so far Art Deco. Tell me if you like that one. The mandala lace. And we've got, oh, I love this one. This is our Christmas pattern. Now, this one is actually 18 inches. So this could be a good one because I'm just going to say the tree is 18 inches. So let's see how that would look. Like if I put that all the way down there and did not include the trunk, that would be a winner. Okay, so maybe that one. Or my very well-loved Victorian pattern. That's a tough one. Okay, tell me, Victorian pattern, the Christmas tree pattern, the mandala lace. Oh, I don't know. That's so hard to pass up. And then the Art Deco. Okay. All right. Let me see. Let me see. What are you guys deciding? Okay. Well, I'm just going to decide for us. Okay. I think, you know, I realize if I choose this one, this is where I'm headed. You know why? To be honest, it's a one and done. It's already 18 inches. I could do this one time, just stick it on there one time and stencil it, and I'm done. So that might be what I choose. I may get part of the trees, some of the trees. All right, hang with me. I think I've almost decided. Let me show you one other. If I chose the mandala lace, it's 15 inches. So let's see how we would do that one. You know what I would do if I had the mandala lace? I would do part of it over here, like part of it over here, and then I would do another part totally disconnected over here. Okay, so dun, da, da. I think the winner has to be the Christmas tree pattern, simply because it's a tree. So let's do it. All right, so I'm going to set this aside just a second because we're going to talk about how we're going to use the stencil. Okay, just like with every other stencil, it comes in a bag, a plastic bag, and it does need to be removed. It's got the name on the back with your care instructions, okay? You want to be really pay close attention to those instructions because they do matter. Okay, so I'm going to just peel off the back. I'm going to put the camera down so you guys can see what I'm doing, okay? All right, so I'm going to peel off, take the stencil out of the bag. As with all of our stencils, you're going to want to mark on the back. Now, you're probably not going to mistake this carrier sheet for anything else, but one great thing about marking what it is, this is the Christmas pattern, yes. I may or may not have another big, like 18-inch sitting out here, but the great thing about this is now that I've marked this, the back is that matte finish. That is not where the stencil goes. The stencil, when it's dry, and you'll read that in your care instructions, belongs on the slick side, okay? So I'm going to do something that I like to do in terms of peeling it back. Now, since this is going on directly on this wood, we are going to need to fuzz it. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of lint with my tacky tool. So I like to just pull it back a little bit. These large ones sometimes get a little bit difficult to work with. So I'm just going to take my tacky towel and actually go the other way. I'm going to stick my tacky towel on top of it. And then I'm going to flip it over. And then I'm going to remove it and lay it down on my tacky towel. Okay, now it's just a little trick that I use. I'll put that aside. Gotta pick up some lint and I move it around so I get it in all places. I do this one upside down. It's gonna be a little bit easier for me personally to manage. Everybody needs to do their own way, but this is my preference. You see how easy it is? I'm not really picking up this stencil, and so I'm not really in danger of making the two backs stick to each other, which is never a good day, okay? Nobody likes that because that means I just ruined my stencil. So I don't want to do that. Okay, one more time on this side. And then we're going to put it on our surface and get going. Now, and again, in order to manage this well, I am literally just going to leave this upside down. That's a big stencil, guys. I don't want you to be scared of the big stencil, but I do want you to appreciate how they work. I'm going to turn it around. So have respect, right? You don't want to be scared of fire per se, but you want to have respect for how it works. So I do want to respect how the stencil works and know that if I get out of hand and wonky with it, it's going to get wonky. All right, so I am going to come on. Now I'm supposing that that I'm going to put this straight on. I don't have to. I could put it any way I want. I could put it diagonal, probably get that whole dang tree in there. I could. I'm not going to. I'm actually just going to go right here. Make sure I get my star in there. I'm just going to lay that puppy on there. All right, now I'm going to flip it over. Careful not to allow my stencil to stick to itself anywhere, but since I've got this surface in place, I feel good about it. So now I'm just going to go around and make sure that all of the surfaces, the stencil is down really well on the entire surface. This is a repeating pattern, guys. So remember, if you started in one place or you started with a smaller pattern and you didn't get the entire stencil surface covered, not to worry because it's repeating. So when it dries, we can just move it over to another place. I am going to try and maybe a little bit identify the edges here so that I'll know where I need to put the paste. Be sure to at least take it out that far and be sensitive of where the holes are. So do I need to avoid the holes? I don't, but I also don't need to put a lot of paste there either. So, all right. I have decided already for us that we're going to use this beautiful glittering gold. If you guys haven't seen it, let me do the reveal. Dun, ta-da. It's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so in a scenario like this, especially an 18-inch, I might use a bigger squeegee. You know, I might use the big one, the big guy. I might use like the mini cut apart or the small cut apart or these minis. And I'm going to use the mini only because of all these little areas here that I want to avoid. So taking my gold chalk paste, and I'm going to just put it everywhere. Now, this is a big stencil. So working with big stencils, we have two choices, okay, in terms of getting that chalk paste on there. We can either work very quickly or we can do a section at a time. So I could say, you know, let's say I'm sitting here talking to you, we're just jaw-jacking, and I have no sense of time, and I want to make sure that my stencil does not, or my chalk paste does not dry inside the stencil. If that's the case, I could pull up part of my stencil that already has the chalk paste and then lay it back down. So I'm going to just show that to you. I don't want you guys to be scared of big designs. I want to encourage you to do them, but I also want you to be smart about it, okay? So big designs, especially when you have intricate patterns. This is an intricate pattern because it has little tiny, although it doesn't really look that intricate, it does have little tiny spaces where I'm pushing this chalk paste through. If it were ink, that would be a different story. So I'm just going to do part of it, and then I'll show you what I would do. All right, so let's say we've gotten this far, and, you know, the doorbell rings. And we're like, dang it, dang it. All right, gotta run, gotta get the door. Maybe it's Amazon. Maybe it's a guy coming to deliver our Magnolia stencils. Woo! All right, so then I'll put this aside. I will actually grab, move this here so you can see it. I'll actually grab this stencil and peel it back. Okay, and then to the point where I stopped, and then I'll lay it back down. It's not hurting anything with me laying it back down, okay? What it does is it gives the stencil or the chalk paste an opportunity to dry outside of the stencil, and it won't clog your stencil. And we're still going to get a beautiful design. Now, let's say that doorbell rang and dang it, we forgot to do that. Hey, listen, not all is not lost. We're just going to wash this thing off and try again. And if it was just a particular part that got messed up, then we can just wash that part off. After it dries, just wash that part off, and then we'll wash the stencil, and then we can reposition it. It's a pattern, remember? Wait for it to dry, put it right back over, and then try again. Maybe it's just one little part, maybe it's the entire thing. Hey, I have several times started stenciling and run into a snafu and had to wash my entire project and start again. For all the years that I've been stenciling, I'm going to say it's happened more than once. Definitely happened more than once. All right, you guys could, like I said, you could have done this with a larger squeegee. I'm just choosing a smaller one because I don't want to get a lot of paste on my stencil in the areas where the holes are, and I'm just trying to be really cognitive of those areas. Not the end of the world for sure, I just don't want to waste my paste. It's pushing through to the other side where there's not a surface. All right, we are actually nearing the end. This is going pretty smoothly. Okay, you can see I'm starting to take probably a little more time than I should for this little design or these little lines. So I could at this point pick it up again and lay it back down, but we're gonna live on the edge. We're just moving forward. Okay, we are close to the end now. All right, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys voted on in terms of the stencil you liked. If you have used this stencil before, this Christmas pattern before, please put it in the comments. I would love, love, love to see your pictures if you have pictures to share. I love to see what you guys do and how creative you are, all the different things you do with our stencils. It's pretty exciting. It's terrific to meet some of you guys at different events and see your stuff too in person. Very different than stuff I would do. And still so cute. All right, it looks like we're at the end. Let me make sure. Oh, nope, I missed a going here. Nope, all the way out here. Boy. All right, now we're almost done. All right, squeegee off what I can. Take this bad boy off. Put this aside, and let's get this thing off of there. Oh, cute, 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 cute. All right. I would love to have a partner right now to help me hold this so I don't ruin my stencil or touch my design. Yay! Okay, I'm gonna lay this aside. Upside down, and I'm gonna put it on my carrier sheet upside down for right now. until I can get a chance to dry it. See what I did? I just put it upside down on that. Okay, we're gonna get a look. Yay! Yay for us. Oh gosh. Okay, that for me, that was the right thing. I can imagine what it's going to look like with the mandala. In fact, I might end up doing the other side of the mandala, meaning this other side, so I can switch them around. Okay, let me dry it and we'll put it together and it'll be fun. Okay, here we go. If you guys have not purchased this heat gun, you ought to try. It's got two different, it's quite affordable, and it's got two different settings. See, I've got a little bit of paste that made it inside these, off the edge and inside of these little slits. Probably the smartest thing to do for me is to wait until it dries to go ahead and remove them. The likelihood of me making a mistake here is pretty high, but y'all know me, kind of how I roll. Okay, looking good, looking good. Okay. All right, so here we have it. And we're going to just assemble it together, okay? All right, and then we will be done with this craft. Hey, you guys, I would really love to see you pick up one of these, and I'd love to see what you've done with it. So do it and share it. That would be awesome. Okay, let's see how to assemble. The way we want to assemble, let's see if you can see it well enough. Okay, the way that we're going to assemble is, I'll tell you the way I like to do it. I like to turn this whole thing upside down. I'll put it on the side so you can see it. Lift it up just a smidge. All right. And then I will take the other one and do the same. Way upside down. I'll tell you what, putting the cross pieces on the bottom first is really the way to go. All right, so now I've got all three cross pieces, okay? I'm gonna, let's put the back one on here so you can see me put the front one on. And the slots just line right up. If you've painted them with a thick acrylic, you're going to have to give it a little shove. And it'll be just fine. You're just going to have to make it work, okay? Push those down in there. Now I grab the whole thing. Oh, let me see if I can do that. Grab the whole thing and turn it. If my chalk paste was dry all the way, guys, I wouldn't be worried about this. I would have grabbed it harder, but my chalk paste is not all the way dry. All right. Next thing is I'm going to come in here. Now the slots go down on this cross piece. Okay, guys? So I'm just going to put it in here. Now it's all right if they move apart just a little bit. It's not going to hurt what's going on in the bottom. I'm trying not to touch my not quite dry chalk. All right, again, they line up, just push it down. And then you can see how stable this is. So, so cute. Give me a big thumbs up. I'd love it if you would pass this on to a friend. Let them see what we've done. Again, I'd love to see what you've done. And then I'll when my whole project is dry, I'll probably go ahead and just seal mine with a clear matte finish. And then here we go. I am ready to get going with my spirit tree. All right, guys, thanks for joining. I hope you have